Hello, welcome to today's video. This is Mr. Miller. Right beside me is my pal, Mr. Lewis. Today, we're going to review percentages. Percentages are really important statistics, and we want to get off to a good start. We're going to teach you one method, the proportion method, maybe you've seen before. But if you have another method for doing percents and it's working for you, that's fine. Mr. Lewis, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. Important things to remember. Percentages are parts of a whole. All right. So if we have 60 red marbles out of a jar containing 100 marbles, we would have to understand that our part would be the initial 60. All right. Out of the whole thing of 100. All right. This would be important to know once we get to the next slide. It shows you the formula.
I'm going to say I don't see a percent yet. So in the proportion method, we're going to start with the fraction of marbles that are red marbles. So that's what we see on the left side. The part goes on top, the whole goes in the denominator. So we have 60, that was the part that was red marbles, out of a total of 100. So we're going to start with the fraction of things we're interested in. And percent is a matter of turning it into out of 100. So on the right side, we see the percent over 100. We're changing the denominator to hundreds. In this case, the denominator was already 100, so this problem is going to be a little bit easier. And we'll change that in a few minutes.
All right. That'll allow us to see that it was 60%. However, just now, we can see that we don't have any idea how many people are in there, so we have to figure out our whole number first. Okay? It's always important to figure out what total you're going to be out of. So if you were to count up all of the Simpsons characters in this particular picture, we would see that our whole would be 32 Simpsons characters.
Wow, I'm still counting. Those you're fast.
Huh.
All right. How about the part?
All right. Our part, well, we're looking at females. Okay? So it's always important to look at what the problem is asking you. So, of course, we have, Maggie, Lisa, Marge, Patty, Selma, and, of course, Miss Krabappel here. So it looks like out of this picture, we have 6 female characters. So setting up the proportion, be 6 out of our 32.
There we go. Wait, that's the fraction that are female. Okay, so we start with the fraction.
And, of course, percents. Like Mr. Miller said, we're out of 100. We're yet to know the percent. So, how do we solve this then?
I forgot.
I think I would cross multiply.
Okay, we can do that.
It's always my favorite, but it's my favorite kind of multiplying. So, we have 32 times x, which would just be 32x, equals 6 times 100. Good old 600. All right? Then, solving our normal equations, dividing by 32, and our x would equal...
Oh yeah, I was supposed to get that part. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis. All right. Man of many talents.
always be 18.75%.
I feel like I didn't have to work at all for that.
No, you really didn't.
All right, let's do it that way.
Yeah, let's...
So remember, percent means out of 100. How many out of 100? Here's another problem for us. What percent of 130 is 67? So we got to figure out what the whole is. Usually the total or the whole is the easiest to find. And normally it comes after the word of. So here the language kind of helps us a little bit. So of 130. 130 is the total. The part is 67. So sometimes that comes after the verb, 60 is. And that's our fraction, 67 out of 130. And we're going to change this to hundredths. So how many out of 100? So here we go again. Louis is already doing it. He loves this. This time I'm going to help him out here. So we're going to do 67 times 100 divided by, please don't tell me he's done already, 130. I get 51.53846154, Mr. Lewis.
51.53846154. 1.38. So
How
let's
about
just
51.54 is good.
yeah.
So I'll put the decimal point in there. Can we see it? Very good. Often in statistics, we're not going to be too worried about how many decimal places. Usually one decimal place is probably enough. All right.
All right. Let's try a few more examples.
All right.
All right. Here we're just going to set these up for you, and then Mr. Miller here will help me out with the answer.
Okay, I'm ready.
So now this one can be tricky because after the is, oops, my fault.
Whoa, what's that?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's your homework.
Yeah.
You get it done already?
All right. After the is here is actually our percent. So you got to be careful not to get tricked out. All right. The 80 is still our percent. That always is over 100. Okay. The of they give us is 75. So they give us the whole, and we want to know the part, the what is. All right. So if we cross multiply that and solve that all, what would we get then?
I got 60.
60 works.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not 60% this time.
Oh.
Mr. Lewis is
Man.
testing us here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's watch a minute while Mr. Lewis
erases.
yeah, we don't know how to erase that, so. All right, beautiful. Reason why it's not a percent is we were given the percent this time. All right, here we go. We'll give Mr. Lewis another chance here.
Yeah. All right, so 9 is, so I know 9 is my part. What percent of 50, so 50 would have to go at the bottom. So what percent? I don't know that. So it cruise over. So cross multiplying it again. 900 divided by 50.
I get 18.
18. This time I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, no, not again. Oh, no, this time we 1%. Okay. Sorry about that, Mr. Lewis.
All right. Now down here, what is 1,000%? How can you have 1,000%?
I do believe that's impossible.
Really? I don't know. So it's got to mean that our is number is much, much bigger than the whole. All right, as in probably 10 times the whole. So our whole number is still 64. That's our of. We don't know the is. And this time it's 1,000 out of 100. Well, in this case, I could probably cancel out some zeros. Do it really fancy.
Oh, I got a calculator, Mr. Lewis. Hang on. I get the hint. He's waiting on me.
Well, I don't know.
You know any songs you want to sing?
I'm going to guess it's 640.
Whoa! All right, go, Mr. Lewis. Very good.
Yeah, look at that mental math. All right, so you got to be careful. You can have a bigger percentage than 100, but it is fairly rather rare and won't occur much in this class. So,
all right, we feel you're ready. So this is the general assignment for the next class. So you want to put this in your journal. Please put the date on it. This is actually our second item for next class, I believe. So in here, we have the points scored by the Bulls players during a Bulls game a season or two ago. I see in 2012. It's been a while. So we have the point totals for each player. So what we want you to do is calculate the percent of points that were scored by Dang, Rose, Gibson, and Boozer.
So just to help you see that, Dang, Boozer, Rose, and Gibson. Sorry, had to look at the cheat sheet again.
Yeah, they're not all Bulls anymore. Those were the days.
Yes, they were. All right.
So you might want to pause while you're finishing that. And then here's the second problem for you. So here were the standings for that point in time. So Chicago were on top at that time. They had 26 wins and 8 losses. So their total number of games was 34. Why don't you go ahead and write that in, Mr. Lewis? We'll give you a little bit on this. We want to calculate what percent of games they have won, their winning percentage. So the part would be the wins, 26. The total is 34, so that's the whole, the number of games. And we want to set this to x over 100 and calculate the percent. So go ahead and finish that. And we'll be looking for this in your journal. So go ahead and find the percent won by all the teams. Do be careful. Not all of them played 34 games. So make sure you find the total for each of them. We'll be back next time.